but today we're really excited because it's all about the stuffing. And our first contestant is here, and I have to tell you, her recipe just jumped right out at us. It's something different, something fun, something unique. I think your family is really going to love it. And this is Peggy from Oshkosh. Good morning.
Hi.
Tell us about your stuffing.
It's an Italian stuffing that came from my grandmother, passed down to my mother, and then to me. And it's the only stuffing I've ever known, and it tastes terrific.
You know what I love about that? It's those family recipes that are just near and dear to our hearts. You know, there's. Did they actually write it down, or did you just kind of?
I wrote it down today.
Oh, I know, but it's hard to like, wait, I actually got to write it down and think about it. Yeah, too funny. You know, so I know that if I don't do the same stuffing that I do for my family every year, I'm going to get growled out. So, but sometimes it's fun to do two different stuffings. So, you know, obviously if Peggy doesn't do this one, she's going to get in trouble too. But, you know, why not try two different ones? Try a new one this year. So this might be a fun one to do for Thanksgiving or maybe down the road for another meal this holiday season. So, all right, get us started here. A little olive oil in our pan. And you tell me what that is.
Okay, this is chicken livers.
Okay.
You can substitute.
Chicken or turkey livers.
Right.
And turkey livers are going to come usually with that pack of you know, giblets and all that kind of stuff, and the neck and all that kind of stuff is inside the bird. So you could use those, or if you wanted to make this ahead, chicken livers, okay?
Okay, so I would chop this up first.
Okay. And we've got some olive oil going. We also have some celery, diced celery. Throw those in here. And it looks like, Peggy, quite a bit of garlic.
Yes.
How many cloves of garlic do we got going here?
One. Just one big one.
One whole head of garlic. Okay,
Right,
so
right.
one whole head of garlic. We peeled it and we rough chopped it, and we were just going to put it in just like this. Okay.
Okay, that's done.
Okay.
And
We're just waiting for our pan to heat up, so we can go ahead and throw
Alrighty.
that in there. So those just add some nice flavor to the stuffing. Is that how that works? Okay. I think a lot of people are actually a little afraid of these guys, and they'll just throw them out when it comes to, you know,
Right.
dealing with the turkey. But you swear by them, right? A lot of flavor. I know.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
lots of flavor.
And my mother-in-law feels the same way. She uses every part of that turkey in the stuffing and to make the gravy and all of it. So, all right. So we're waiting for our stovetop to heat up a little bit. So in goes our garlic. And while this is sautéing, let's get to work on some of the other parts of the recipe.
Alrighty. The next step would be the chicken broth, and the butter would have to be heated up.
Okay,
in the
so
pan.
in another pan, we've got 1 stick of butter and then chicken stock. So that's going to moisten the stuffing. And so the whole thing of chicken stock?
Once the butter melts.
Once the butter melts. Okay, first we'll melt the butter and then all of the chicken stock goes in.
It's only 1 cup.
1 cup of chicken broth. Okay.
That's
all
a quart, so just
Okay.
a cup of it.
Got it. All right. So we'll let this melt. We'll let our chicken livers and our garlic and our celery saute a little bit. Let's move on to the actual stuffing part of this
Alrighty.
recipe.
I would use a tablespoon of the oregano.
Okay. Now tell us what's in the bowl already, what you've already got going on here.
Already is the Italian bread, which I take 3 or 4 slices and I wet it with just water.
Okay.
And I pat it down until all the water is, most of the water is gone, and keep patting it down. Then I would just break it apart with my hands and put it in the bowl.
Okay, so basically 2.5 loaves of Italian bread. You just you get it at the bakery, or do you?
Just regular Italian bread.
Regular Italian bread that's sliced. Okay, and you moisten it with water and just kind of scrunch it up.
Pat it down.
Pat it down. Okay.
Alrighty. Then I would add my oregano, and that is 1 tablespoon.
Okay.
And then I would add my sage, and that is half teaspoon of sage.
Okay.
Sprinkle it in there. And then a teaspoon of basil, and that's crushed basil leaves.
Okay. Oh, this smells so good.
And then a half a teaspoon of the poultry seasoning.
Okay, so that's the traditional seasoning that we're used to in most Thanksgiving stuffings.
And then a teaspoon of garlic powder.
Okay.
Alrighty, and then I would crack 2 eggs.
Now, when you do this, Peggy, do you make it at all ahead, or do you make it, you know, right along when you're making the turkey, or how does it go?
I make my stuffing first and just get it all ready to stuff in the bird.
But day of? Pretty much
Yes,
the day of.
yes.
Okay.
So 2 eggs in that mixture.
Okay.
And then I want to, with my hands,
Just kind of get in there.
get
huh?
in there and scrunch it all together.
Like you'd be making a meatloaf.
Right. You want to mix it really thorough.
My butter's melted over here, so I'm going to add about a cup of stock.
Alrighty. And then lastly, I want to put a cup of Parmesan cheese.
This keeps getting better and better.
I also have some for when you're baking it, you put more on the top.
On the top to get
Yes.
just kind of get nice and brown.
So we mix this all together really good. I'm going to have to rinse my hands.
No problem. You know what? With cooking, you just got to get in there sometimes.
Yes.
And you stuff your turkey, but you can also just bake this in like a casserole dish.
Yes, you can.
Okay. So our butter and our stock is melted. Our veggies now go in over here. Is that right? Okay.
Pour it right in there. The olive oil really gives it a good flavor.
Oh, it smells so good. Our butter and our stock, and then again, you get the idea. Mix this all together, get in there with your hands,
Yes.
and really moisten it well. Okay, all right, I'm going to show you what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. And we've got our guest judge waiting in the wings here. Oh, wow, does it smell good? Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Excellent. How are you doing this
I'm
morning?
great, thanks. This is Dan Dries from Whistling Straits, the American Club. Come on a little bit.
Sure.
This is Peggy. This is her Italian
meet you.
stuffing.
Nice to meet you.
Of course, Dan, are you cooking Thanksgiving dinner this year?
Actually, Whistling Straits is not open, but some of the other restaurants at the American Club, Black Wolf Run, will be open too. So everyone else will be busy, and I get the day off.
Oh, lucky you. now they know you're not.
Right.
Now you're going to get a call at
Yeah,
the
the
last
phone will be
minute.
ringing on the way home.
But
so.
the American Club, if you don't feel like cooking and you want to go for an amazing meal, the American Club at Kohler does a great job. So, all right, and they have lots of events going on for the holidays. So here you go, Dan. We want you to try this.
Alrighty. Very excited
Really
to try this.
unique, and with all that garlic in there.
Right, lots of
And
interesting
Parmesan
flavors.
cheese on top. too.
Ooh, Parmesan cheese on top.
It's very good.
You know what I noticed too is that real bread just is moist and, you know, ooh, not like a dry stuffing at all.
No, definitely dry, and the Parmesan cheese on the top. Nice, interesting.
I also leave some of the chicken broth and butter to put on top as well.
She knows what
So that
she's
makes
doing.
it nice and moist.
Ooh. Peggy, thank
More
you so much
tasty.
for sharing. Really, really appreciate it. Well, is Peggy going to be the big winner today? Or is it going to be another one of our viewers, Tanya, who's making a slow cooker stuffing recipe? We'll find out.